Welcome to the Carr and Seguin Show, hosted by Devin Carr and Paul Seguin, where two Michiganders dive into real estate, outdoors, community building, and everything in between. What up?
What's going on, man?
Another day, another dollar.
Yes, sir.
Make it holla.
Boom, boom.
We have a wonderful guest here with us today
We do?
that we are excited to talk about some rocks.
Ooh.
Rocks. Fabulous, beautiful looking rocks.
Well, it is.
Hey, I'm excited because I think this stuff is sweet. I'm that kind of detailed in a way person, believe it or not.
You are?
Yeah, Jess hates shopping for home stuff with me. I always make it more difficult than it should.
Why?
And she's like, honestly, are you the wife in this scenario or am I? Like, you would think it would be the opposite. I don't know. I just seem to make it difficult. That's
good to know.
Whenever we start doing home projects, I start to look at too many photos. I should just shut up.
Yeah.
And just say whatever you want, honey.
You should.
Yeah. That's my problem.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
But we have Jenny Michalik. I didn't screw it up, right?
Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
We got it.
Yes.
Should know that. Only a past client of mine. So slap me over the face for that. No, but thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, you are welcome.
We're excited to have you and spend some time with you talking about granite in marble and what other kind of rocks. Quartz.
Quartz, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Some quartzites.
That's right.
Which is
Rocks.
important topic,
Yes.
especially with all the home renovation shows out there. And
Yes.
everybody wants to renovate their house now. And now which one do I go with?
There's home renovation shows?
Unfortunately, yes.
There's home renovation channels.
Yeah.
I know. I was actually just watching a little Chip and Joanna last night.
Oh, I tried to block the channel from my TV, but I couldn't figure it out.
Chip's just funny.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. And I love how they make it so easy.
Yeah, I found out demo day is not nearly as fun if you don't have that many people. It's not the same.
I know. The one I watched last night was this young couple that bought this disgusting house. I mean, they did a walkthrough of it, and you had litter of animals all over the place. It looked like a hoarder's house. Right? You get a great deal. It was a newly built house, right? They just kind of let it go type deal. And so then obviously they brought in Chip and Joanne to fix it up and all that stuff. And yeah, the demo day, they didn't, they're they were actually well, do you want us to clean? I mean, it was just disgusting all over the house. Couldn't the smell, you could tell everyone was like, get out of here.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of thing. And they're like, no, we're going to clean it out. And they they turned to all these family and friends and I'm like, geez Louise, beer and pizza would not get me that house. No.
So they cleaned it before they demolished it?
No, they actually didn't even demolish it.
Oh.
They just cleaned it out. And obviously, they had to rip a lot of walls down that were just mold critters living in. I mean, it was one of those homes.
When they get left a while and the animals get in there too.
Yeah, it was vacant for 3 years. Chip opened the refrigerator. And as soon as he opened it, an old egg it literally exploded because it was so rotten. It actually it was
That's nasty.
It was gross.
Yeah.
Gross. You want a science project? Go to that house.
Right.
Yeah. You got a few science projects happening there.
Oh yeah. Little decomposing science projects. What happens when you leave this sitting around for 3 years? Come check it out.
That hoarder show. Once in a while, I'll turn it on, but obviously they have an issue. Need some help, but just the way the houses look and they live, it's just
yeah, it's gross. Well, on a cleaner note,
Happier topics.
Yeah. Let's show you how to improve those homes.
Yes, and have fun improving, which I know you've been doing some of your own at your guys' new house.
Yep, we've been
which is
working
looking fun. Seeing the progress on Facebook.
Yes.
So you ready to be hired to do some more?
Yeah.
Because I got 2 bathrooms and a kitchen to do.
Yeah. If you let me do the demo and then somebody else do the cleanup from the demo, I'm much happier with demo.
No, see, I like the demo.
Yeah.
That's where you get to swing a sledgehammer and just throw stuff into a dumpster
Yep.
and
Right.
crash.
My dad does too. If you give him a sledgehammer and a dumpster, he's happy.
Yeah. When you want to just let off some aggression or
Yes.
some
Right.
pent up anger for some reason, just go find a demo job.
Right. Well, don't they have those? It's not like an escape room, but they have those rooms that you can actually just go and destroy
I have
stuff.
seen those.
Really?
Just to reveal, or
Yeah.
just to.
No way.
You
Yeah.
go in and they've just got like a pile of dishes or
Yeah.
like
Smash 'em.
a pile of like an old computer or something that somebody wants destroyed, and some hammers in the corner, and
Right.
you fling the plates against the wall and you smash stuff. And
Now that is some fun
those
therapy.
exist. Yeah.
I'd just go do it to do it.
That's what people do, I think.
Well, I mean, it's like the same thing of like just going and shooting guns, right? I mean,
Right.
it's just like, yeah,
Stress reliever.
it is. And just the power. Where's these at? We should go.
I've never
I have
s-
no idea. I saw it on a show somewhere.
Yeah, that's where I've seen it on TV, but I've
Yeah.
never personally seen
I
it.
don't know if they've made it
Maybe
here yet,
we should open one here locally. Partners? Huh?
Yeah, right?
See, we come up with so many good
I know.
We got to just stop because we're sharing this with the world, and Johnny over here
Someone
is going
else
to
is
get
gonna
rich.
take your idea.
I know. He's sitting in the back room over there, just writing. Oh shoot! I'll write down this idea, and then 2 months later, he's gone, and we're like, "Where'd Johnny go?" Yeah, he started his own little smash therapy
Right,
room.
yeah.
And hot dogs.
Right.
Hey, that is mine. Do not take that. The holy dogs, right?
The holy dogs.
Holy
Yep.
dogs. What was that? Was with
Kyle.
Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
We come up with great ideas on this show.
Yep.
So as long as we all get it together,
Right.
Let's do it.
Yep.
So let's
Some
check it
great
out.
minds thinking together.
Right.
That's right.
Fun stuff.
3 is better than 1.
Yeah.
That is true.
That is very true. Unbreakable chords come in 3, right?
True.
Let's go. All right. Well, I'm loving this already.
Right.
So, Jenny, you work in the rock industry.
True.
But you work at Great Lakes Granite and Marble
Correct.
in Redford.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. So I'm a project manager there.
Yeah.
Yep. We do countertop surfaces primarily, but we do custom fabrication for all sorts of things. We do, your countertops, your fireplaces. We do a lot of fabrication for commercial work, which ends up in building cladding and
No way.
we do all sorts of fun projects.
Like
that
huge
way.
walls.
Yep. We've got
People that
entire
just money to
buildings that
burn.
the outside.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I would like this nice mural all of marble.
Yes.
And then somehow work into it a picture of me.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds like the perfect wall.
No, and there are places
I would
that
say so.
definitely do mosaics like that. You can send them
Yeah.
a picture, and they will. I mean, they have computer programs, I'm sure, to figure it
Oh,
out.
right,
Right,
But
right.
and they'll put it on their Sawjet and cut out all these little
Holy
pieces,
smokes.
and then you
Wow.
get this whole piece of mosaic that you set in with the rest of it. And
Jeez.
yeah, it's fascinating. We don't get quite that detailed with it. We're a little bit larger scale, but
Yeah.
you can do so much with slabs of rock.
Right.
All right.
It's like at some point somebody decided, hey, this is a cool thing. Let's slice it up like a loaf of bread and make things out of it.
Right.
Just piece it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving me some ideas. Do like a little mosaic in the bathroom.
After you just told us how terrible you are to shop with house stuff, I don't want to be any part of that.
Dang it, he told me he's going to come visit me to pick things out.
Right,
And now
yeah.
he just told me how high maintenance
I
he is.
know. It's like, it's not going to just be a Saturday. We're going to be at this for a month or two.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
I'll just leave it right there.
Not dig yourself any deeper.
No, seriously, whatever. Go ahead. I was gonna say something, but we'll leave the paint that's already pictured
Yep.
the way it is. Yeah. All right. So there's different kinds of stone.
Correct.
So let's talk about that because we've done this a little bit. You kind of get the idea of renovating a bathroom or a kitchen, right? Like,
Right.
let's just go to Home Depot because that's the best store in the world.
Right.
Besides Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop.
But these are all awesome stores because they have everything.
Yeah.
Right.
You go in and you're like, oh, I like that and that and that, and you walk out of there. You can't get out of any of them for less than $30 to $50.
That is true.
Even if you went in for nothing.
Right.
I'll even say one more store that's worse than that. It's Costco.
Oh, Costco's horrible.
Yeah, Costco.
Costco's wonderful and horrible.
You go there for, I mean, I literally was just there last night. Jess sent me there for just some milk. What did she really send me there? There was major things. I think she wanted like some certain vitamins for the kids because they're all in school, and she's like, gotta load them up with vitamins, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they got the big jars, the good deals. And then she's like, oh, and I need milk in this. And then all of a sudden I get a new pillow for myself. I went down another aisle and I got like a whole big pack of light bulbs and batteries. I'm like, geez Louise, I was supposed to only spend like $60, and here I am spending $120.
And you're never walking out of there without a rotisserie chicken. So
I know.
It's impossible not to pass.
$6, $5?
$5.
$5.
Yes.
You know they're losing money on that, but you have to walk all the way to the back of the store to get that chicken, which means you're going to find 4 other things you didn't need on the way there.
That is the genius of how these stores do these things.
Yes.
They draw you all the way to the back because they know like this dummy is going to walk through those aisles and go,
Find a pillow.
Well,
find a pillow.
You have to.
Light bulbs.
I mean, if we're going to walk all the way back there, might as well check out every aisle that's on the way.
I really miss all the tastings.
Yes.
Dude.
Oh. You go there for lunch.
Please bring them back. Bring them back.
Yes.
I mean, that's the whole point of going to Costco. And then the other thing, too, is, like, you can't leave without getting a slice of pizza.
Even if you were getting the chicken.
And I know a lot of people like the hot dogs, too, there, but I just think their pizza's amazing.
I agree. Their
Massive
pizza is
slices.
And they've got, like, fruit smoothies there.
I know.
And
The ice cream, the whatever, yogurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all, they do it right.
yeah.
I heard they pay their employees really well, too. Like, I mean, like, benefits, it's just good. Costco's got it going on. Anyways,
do.
back to rocks.
right.
No, so what I was getting at is, and we have, because we bought an older house that we need to renovate, and we've just done a few things, and, kind of like what you were saying before the show, too. You're like, we're just going to wait. Because doing projects like this can just be draining.
Yes.
Kid take a long time.
Yes.
And we have 3 kids, and it's like scary even to think like, okay, yeah, let's rip up our kitchen with 3 kids. This sounds miserable.
Where are we going to put the food?
Yeah.
Where are we going to put the children that need to eat the food in?
I remember my parents did it when we were growing up, and I remember everything was in the basement. We ate dinner in the basement. It was like we probably had pizza more than we ever had in our lives.
yeah.
And it was like, I remember that day when it was like back to normal. My mom was just like, thank you. God, I can cook again.
Right.
Yeah.
Kitchen's
Normally.
here.
Eating out seems like the best thing in the world until you have to do it multiple
I know.
weeks in a row, and you're like, there's no more restaurants nearby that I am okay with.
Right, yeah.
No. Yeah, and then it's like when you finally want to go out to eat, you're like, where?
Yeah, but
Right.
we've been to
We've
all
been
of
to all
these
these
really
places.
recently.
We've ate them all, and it's just like it's not fun.
Yeah.
Eating out should be fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know,
I would agree.
it's enjoyable. Someone else is cooking for you.
Right.
Doing the dishes.
Yeah,
That's the main thing. Like,
they clean up for me.
yes. Dishes multiply faster than rabbits, and like you
They
look
do.
and poof, there's more, and
It's always
they're horrible.
it's especially with 3 kids. It's like it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And then when I always get the look, like she's like, "So you gonna do them tonight?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
who's
yeah,
Yeah, this is fine.
yeah, I'll do the dishes. All right, so back to where I was getting at. So you go to the stores, right? And you look at all these different kinds. You got quartz, you got marble, you got granite. What's the difference? And what's the advantages? What's the cons?
Yeah, so basically you have 2 directions you can go. Natural stone or man-made. Your natural stones are going to be literally that. Rocks, stones that you pull out of the ground somewhere.
Right.
Stones come from all over the world.
Where do
every
they pull them
continent,
out of the ground?
Everywhere.
Really?
Just within the U.S.
Is there anywhere in Michigan?
Not for slabs, but there is a really big limestone quarry up in Rogers
Really?
City. Yep, I think it's one of the largest, at least in the U.S., maybe largest in the world.
Limestone.
Yeah, I don't believe they use it for like slabs or anything, but it is a very large stone quarry. There's natural stone all over.
Limestone's
the
like
US.
driveways, right?
Yeah. A lot of times you use it
Yeah.
for crushed limestone. I mean, there are slab limestone that gets used. Marble is actually limestone based, so it's
Is
a
it?
similar stone. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, just in the U.S., I know there are like quarries up in Vermont that are marble. There are quarries in North Dakota that are granite. There's sandstone quarries, I think, in Arizona, and I'm sure there's more that I just don't know about because we haven't gotten anything from them. But yeah, so your natural stones are ones that you pull out of the ground. Those are going to be your granites, your marbles, your quartzites, and then we have what we call some specialty stones that are kind of just a mix of a few of those other stones. Every stone is a little bit of a mix of everything, just because the way the ground forms, there's a little bit of everything going on.
Right.
So your granites will be your most dense, hard, solid kind of stone that you
The
usually
toughest
work
kind
on
of
a countertop.
stone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quartzites are also extremely dense and hard, so they make great countertop surfaces. Marble is a little bit softer. It's still very durable. When we're talking soft rock, it's still a rock.
It's still a rock at the end of the day.
It is still a very hard surface.
I was going to say, like, what makes a rock soft?
Yeah, there's
It's just kind of like the breakdown of it.
So there's what they call a Mohs scale of hardness. It's a scale of 1 through 10, 1 being gypsum, very soft, kind of powdery substance, 10 being diamond, very hard, very dense.
Durable, right?
Yeah. So granite is usually somewhere.
Can I make a countertop out of diamonds?
You probably, if you
really
have the funds to
expensive.
do
Yeah,
that,
everything's
like I
just a
would love to
function of
see it when
money.
you're
I just-
done.
Yeah, yeah, I'll come over.
I'll use Johnny's money.
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely some like semi-precious stones that end up being sliced up for countertops, or like
Jeez.
I've seen slabs.
Or
that
you could
are-
sprinkle it in, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just briefcase full of diamonds.
Right,
Just
yeah, and
sprinkle
just
it
sprinkle
in.
it.
Just
Yeah,
here,
why not?
here's my diamond case. Just crunch
turn
it
that
down.
into a countertop
Right,
for me.
yeah.
Sprinkle it into my countertop.
Real estate's been good.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I don't see any, but
But no, so on the Mohs scale,
sorry, I keep interrupting
we're-
you. I'm bad at that.
Hey,
Devin,
I've
you gotta learn how to be more like that. He just says, "Shut up, Paul."
No, I've
Stop
got
talking.
ADD. I can follow it, and like eventually
Okay,
we'll
good.
get back to the starting
yeah.
point and start over. It's good.
We're on the same page then.
I have these logical like hop, skip, jump paths.
You got
and
to.
Right.
I know how I got there. Nobody else does, so I have to
Yeah.
always explain
Right,
it
yeah.
to
That's
them.
me all day.
But I
Yeah.
can find my way right back to where I started and do another
Right,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, marble is more like a 3 or 4 on the Mohs scale. So it is a little bit softer than a granite or a quartzite that are more in like the 6 to 7. 10 is your diamond, 1 is your gypsum.
Yeah.
So marble is a material that will scratch a little bit easier. It, if you go into like all of the Capitol buildings, all of the old buildings, they're all marble. It's still there. It's still really hard.
Right.
But if you walk up the stairs, there's a divot in it.
Oh yeah.
None of it's bright white and shiny anymore. Like it patinas over time, and that's just what it does. It's still, a very durable, beautiful material.
It just
But,
wears.
yeah,
over time.
It patinas and it absorbs, colors that touch it. It absorbs oils. It absorbs.
Now you're gonna
things
make me
nearby.
look at.
Oh,
whenever
yeah.
I go into
Yeah, you're gonna
old,
take
a look at
marble
you're
now.
I'm gonna like.
Like there's the hole in the floor. Yeah, because
Now,
like
I'm guessing this is probably about 50 years old, depending on the dips.
Right.
yeah, but no, I think I was in the Capitol in D.C. and of course I had been in the natural stone industry for years at this point. So
Yeah.
I'm going through there going, look at all the marble, and my husband's like, okay, cool. Like, let's go look
looks
at the
good.
paperwork
Right,
over here.
yeah.
Like, we are not here
Yeah.
for the stone that came
Right,
from
yeah.
wherever. But like you go up the stairs and like there are divots in those stairs because so many people over so many years have walked on these
yeah.
surfaces, and it wears down.
And that's just
That's
it.
just what it does. Obviously, for your countertop surfaces, you're never going to get that kind of wear and tear on your countertops.
Right, you're not walking on it,
Right.
hopefully. I mean,
But-
maybe if it's in college town.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't put marble in
Yeah,
a
that's
college house.
Yeah.
It's a nice
It's a little
frat house.
yeah, a
with
little
marble.
nicer.
Yeah.
But for your countertop surfaces, you'd be looking at, if you have that ceramic mug that goes across it and you just kind of scooched across there, it could put a scuff in it. You could,
Right.
acids will react with it. So there's calcium in marble. So tomatoes, lemons, orange juice, things like that
High
have
acidic.
acidic, the acid will react with the calcium. And what it ends up doing is kind of eating into the surface of the stone. So it will end up with, like, if you have a polished finish, it'll just kind of make it a matte finish because it started to eat the polish. So those sorts of things over time are just what gives the stone its natural patina.
Character, right.
Some people really like that. Some people really don't.
I know.
So that's kind of where you get, a lot of designers are working with marble because it's a beautiful stone. It's, you get these nice light whites, grays. At least that's a lot of what's popular right now. And, you have all these beautiful things, but sometimes people are like, oh, wait, I don't really want that.
Right.
Because
you got to know what you're buying.
Right.
If you know that going into it, I had a lady who was thrilled. She couldn't wait for her first stain on her marble. You are the perfect client for marble. You will love this. It'll be great.
Because she just knew that's what's going to happen.
That's what marble does, and she was very excited about it. If that's not what you want, you don't want to go with marble. You want to go with a denser material or one that's inert to acids, and that would push you more into granite, quartzite, or quartz, which is a man-made. Granite has all sorts of colors, and marble does too. Most of the popular ones are kind of in the lighter colors, but they come in, reds, greens, grays, blacks, everything.
Right.
Depending on where in the world and what quarry you get it from. Granite.
Just unique.
Yeah. Granite tends to be a little bit more like granular structure, where marble tends to have more like those softer veins and things like that.
The windingness.
Yeah. Granite tends to be a little bit more conglomerate material of all the little rocks and minerals that are all
jumped
together.
Right?
Yeah. They got smushed together in heat and pressure in the earth for thousands of years, and we pull it out of there and stick it on countertops. Right. So granite comes in all sorts of colors. Granite's your probably most popular natural stone countertop material.
Is it?
Yeah. Granite will be, any range from, grays and whites and browns and neutrals through greens, reds. There's some like blue granite, like you can get bright blue that shows up in granite. Yeah, it's
crap.
It's so cool. There's so many colors that you get. And granite is very dense, very durable. It's hard to scratch. It'll usually, we recommend specifically not using it as a cutting board because granite is oftentimes more dense and hard than your stainless steel knives would be. So if you're using it as a cutting board, you're going to dull your knives because the granite is stronger.
But I've heard this before. Don't people use it I can just cut right on my granite?
You can pretty much do whatever you want to your granite, and most of the time nothing's going to happen to it.
Jeez.
I've worked in a couple locations now that we will scratch all sorts of stuff across our granite countertops. We have, I worked at a tile place that we had thinset and grout and all of that really gritty stuff and tile that would just go across our granite countertops all day. And the place I'm at now, granite, we scratch granite across it and sinks and samples and everything. And it's been there for, 15, 20 years in the showroom is this solid black granite, and there's a little bit of scuffing at the edge of the, the surface of it. You're like, it's fine.
It's granite.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Natural stone can also handle heat. So some people like to take things out of the oven and put it on the countertop. Granite, quartzite, marble, those have all been in the ground dealing with heat and pressure for years and years and years.
Right.
They can handle the heat, so you can pretty much set your hot stuff right on there. It doesn't really do anything to the stone. Good to go. Granite and natural stone are very good for doing, just about anything too. Like the marble, it is a little bit softer. It'll end up with that patina over time. You can still pretty much do whatever you want to it, but it's not going to
do anything to it. No.
No.
It's just more of the acidic.
Yeah, it's the acidic and the more porous nature of the stone will absorb wine stains or things like that a little bit easier than a granite would.
One lady's probably like, "Oh, I just spilled my wine. Let's see how it turns out."
Yeah. Yes. And we often actually send people home with a sample of the stone if they're looking at a material that has, some calcium content like a marble or a softer material like that. Take it home, test it. See, use the foods that you would do on it. Make an educated decision before you put some. We don't ever want anyone to go home with a countertop that isn't right for them and their life because they didn't have enough information to make an informed decision.
Oh, right.
So, take it home, see what happens. If it doesn't work out, great. You don't want that one. Let's try again.
Right.
And, go from there. So, So granite can handle just about anything you throw at it. Quartzite is a little bit different mineral. It's more sandstone based, so it has some like crystalline structures to it.
Right.
But it's just about this. It's usually the same density, if not a little bit denser than granite. So it can handle just about anything you throw at it. And then we have what we call specialty stones, and those are a few that have some quartzite and some marble kind of swirled through. They're usually pretty dense and durable and mostly stain resistant, but they do sometimes still have that little bit of calcium in the marble that
picks it up.
Yep, you'd watch out just for acid. So if you
Right.
spill some orange juice on it, you wipe it up a little bit quicker than
You don't let it sit.
Yeah, you don't really want to leave that one sit for a few hours because you'll probably have a dull spot over there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what people do if they are concerned about that but still really love that material is there's different finishes you can put on stone. So a lot of the times the kind of standard finish is a polished finish. It's nice and shiny,
Right.
it's solid, it's smoothed out. You can also do a honed finish, which these coasters are pretty well a honed finish. I don't know if everybody else will be able to see them, but these have kind of a soft, smooth, matte finish, but it's still flat.
Right.
What that does is it kind of softens off that polished finish. If you do get an acid etch on it, you probably won't see it as quickly. Same thing with scuffs and scratches. You won't see it as much. It's not as noticeable. It doesn't feel like, oh, we put a scratch in our pretty polished finish.
Right, yeah.
It just kind of gives it a little bit more lived-in look to start with. So a lot of people will do that on those materials that might have that potential to have some acid etching. And some people just go, hey, it's going to get lived in. It'll patina when it patinas. It is what it is.
We like
Yeah.
the stone. We want the
Yep.
look of it. Right.
Yeah.
It's
So
like when
that's-
you buy anything new. It's like, I'll get the first scratch out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep. All good now.
Yeah. As soon as you're done, you're like, okay,
Right, yeah.
now I can do whatever I need
Right,
to.
yeah. I wonder if Cutco has ever gotten knife sent back and broken. And they ask, how did this happen? Well, I was using my granite as a cutting board.
Yeah.
If you broke your knife on granite, I don't know what you were doing. But it probably wasn't just trying to
Right.
cut on it. No, you might be able to dull them on it, but I don't know. You're not going to break it.
Did you break knives before on granite?
No,
I'm talking from experience.
Yeah, I need to know if you sent one
I
back.
am a stickler about a sharp knife.
Oh, it's
And-
got to be.
And I'm almost to the point, I love you, sweetie, but we're almost buying a his and her knife set. What I
you can
see
keep
her
yours.
do with knives is like, it just makes me cringe. And then when I go to use them, they're always dull.
Yeah.
And I have to sharpen them all. And it's like,
Which I'm sure she appreciates next
Yeah.
time she uses them.
yeah. And
Wow,
when
this
she,
could
when
cut a
she
little
does have
easier.
a sharp knife, she does tend to cut herself too. So we are thinking about a his and her knife set, just so I can less stress in our home.
I mean, less stress is a good thing, so this seems like a logical choice.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, I'm thinking about it. Maybe it'll be her Christmas gift.
That's what I was going to say. Now you know what Christmas gift that Becca's getting.
Her own
And
personal
knife
knives.
sharpener.
Her
What's
Christmas
this
gift
mean?
is a set of knives for you, so she can
Yeah,
have the one
right,
she wants
yeah.
to ruin.
Right.
I mean, I've seen her stab potatoes with tinfoil on them.
Oh,
It is just watching it makes me just, oh, my poor knife. Poor knife.
yeah.
Going through the tinfoil?
I don't know why it bugs me so much, but it does. It's like the email thing. I don't want to see a bunch of red on my emails or a bunch of emails.
Right.
I want to look at them, delete them, and get
Oh,
it cleaned up.
I
You
have
hate
that.
my inbox.
See, I'm the same way. I like it 0.
I know.
0.
I don't want to see anything.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way with
It's
a knife.
weird.
I don't know why, but I don't get it. I interrupted. Sorry.
No, a sharp knife is a good thing, though. I mean, I should be able to just cut right through it.
I know. That's
That's
my
what
logic.
knives are for.
You're right. That's what I'm thinking.
So no granite for you, though.
I don't know. Her and Mac eat a lot of fruit that have a lot of acid.
So granite's perfectly fine.
That's
yeah,
Well,
granite.
there you go.
Granite's not going to react to it. Your quartzites aren't going to react to it. It's going to be mostly your marble with that calcium content that the acid will, react with. We're talking about science experiments.
Yeah.
That's a science experiment on your countertop right
yeah.
there. Yeah. So, and I mean, just figuring out what works for you. So
Right.
then moving into the man-made stuff.
So that's what I was getting at. I was gonna ask, like, quartz has become this very popular material.
Quartz is what I call reconstituted stone. They take quartz, the rock, grind it up, mix it together with pigments, polymers, and binders that all stick it back together, and they smush it back into a slab.
Yeah.
And with that, you can make whatever pattern you want. It's man-made. We can put all sorts of colors in there. We can put whatever. So you can get bright red, sparkly quartz countertops. That probably won't happen as much in nature in, in
but
fire
it costs
truck red.
just as much.
It does, because they're taking the same rocks out of the ground. That process is the same.
Right.
They're then grinding it up, mixing it together, smushing it all back together. If you get any sort of patterning in it, they have these robotics that are drawing the patterning in with a different color of pigment. And so there's different processes there of different patternings, but then you have about 90% natural stone, 10% man-made miscellaneousness depending on the particular material. But you can get the visual effect of marble.
Because it's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's the thing about marble, right? Is you can have those inconsistent patterns because it's just natural stone.
Yeah,
every stone pulled out, it's what you get.
Every slab of natural stone is slightly different. You slice them one right after the other, so they're usually pretty similar in a block.
Right.
I like to say they're kind of like a loaf of bread. We slice it like that. You get a bubble in a loaf of bread. It's going to be there in the next one. It just might change shape and size a little bit. Right. Same thing happens with stone. If you're looking at 5 slabs that are all cut one right after the other, they're all going to be pretty similar to each other, but that vein might move a little bit, might change a little bit.
Different, right?
Quartz and porcelain, the man-made ones, they're a repeatable image or a repeatable pattern.
Because it's made.
Yeah, we make it, so it's going to be exactly the same every time.
What look do you want? We'll do it.
Yeah, so quartz and porcelain are where you can get like the look of marble without as much of the TLC maintenance type things of marble, where it's not as soft. It doesn't have a patina. It's just going to stay exactly bright white and shiny, just like you put it in for a very long time.
Right.
So that's why you're
That's why it's popular.
That's why it's very popular. And it is non-porous. So all of the rocks are rocks. Eventually, moisture will soak through them. Some of them soak through a little bit faster than others. That's why marble stains a little bit easier, is because it is a little bit more open pores. Granite and quartzite are that very dense, hard, tight together. Yeah. So they don't stain as easily, but you leave something on there long enough, it can soak in. So quartz is not porous. It has no ability to soak all the way through. So both of them you can get stains off. You can pull it out of the out of the stone with a poultice. It's like a powder that you mix with a liquid, and it kind of dries out and pulls the stain out. Yeah, it's cool. And quartz, nothing's stain proof. Quartz, you can stain the surface of, but it usually just sits on the surface. Most of the time, depending on the manufacturer, they can usually recommend a specific thing, but a soft abrasive like a soft scrub or Barkeeper's Friend paste or something like that will usually remove it right off the top.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the benefits to the man-made stuff, is you can get the look of the natural stones without quite as much of the maintenance of some of the more delicate stones. And then porcelain, man-made again, is basically a giant tile. Sheet of clay or porcelain in that situation with a glaze on the top. And I mean, tiles have been getting larger and larger and larger format for a little while now, and they're basically the same size as the slabs you'll get of quartz or granite.
Jeez.
And you can put those, there's certain materials you can put just directly on your countertop. They're thick enough that, or your cabinet, excuse me. You can just set it directly on there and kind of polish the side. Otherwise, if they're a little bit thinner, we'll end up mitering them down the side so that the face looks like it's a thicker piece, but it's on a substrate of high density foam or something like that to kind of give you that thick look.
Yeah.
Yep. And all of that kind of takes away that, it could stain or it could whatever. It's never like a huge issue, but it's something that if people are very concerned about it and don't want to deal with that kind of maintenance, they just want to have that look and go with it. It works out really well.
Right. Whoa.
Yeah, something
Hello.
nice there.
Is that an email? You better clean that up.
Yeah. You gotta get it opened. You can't leave it sitting there on unread.
It's bugging him as he's looking at it.
It's Walter Burns.
So with quartz, the benefit of having, that stain resistance, the downside to it that people would want to consider is it's not as heat resistant.
Oh.
So those man-made epoxies and things that we put in there that make it not porous don't handle UV rays or temperatures above usually about 300 degrees. Ooh. So coffee pots and crock pots, you're fine. Those aren't going to do anything to it.
Bringing those hot pans.
Right.
Yeah. If you're used to setting your hot stuff on granite, you want to reconsider your habits before you get quartz.
Right.
You'll have just this nice little pan mark.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Pan goes here.
Yes, you must replace it here every time because you have to cover over the thing.
Pan placement.
Yeah. And I've had people come in and say, "Oh, I used to do that with my quartz all the time." Great, that might be fine on. You've managed to be good for now. But most manufacturers won't warranty anything in excess of 300 degrees.
Right.
Because it's the natural stones have been used to getting rid of heat. There's ways for it to transfer through. It's been used to doing that.
But they broke it down.
Yeah, they broke it down, and the man-made things just don't do that very
Yeah.
well. So that's kind of the thing that a lot of people will have to consider as kind of the payoff of, do you want a little bit more stain resistance? Do you want a little bit more heat resistance? And most of the time I tell people, pick what you like the look of. If you like this particular material, be aware of the maintenance requirements for whatever you pick and
be happy with it.
Right.
Go with it.
Deal with it. Right.
If that particular maintenance requirement is a deal breaker for you, find something else that you also like.
Right, yeah.
Right.
There are very few clients that I work with that only like one thing, and that's the perfect thing, and they can't have anything else. Usually people have a couple that they like.
Right, yeah.
But when you explain it in that way, and I know when we talk too, it's just educating. Like, hey, what do you like, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you're like, what do you like? Well, I love the look of that. Great. Now let's talk.
Yeah, here's some details. Here's some information.
Yeah. So know that, okay, if you go with marble, do you have kids?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do they spill lots of stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
I'm
Do
sure
you want to
they
take
clean
that
up
chance?
all the time too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they wipe up behind themselves perfectly.
Yeah.
And
They keep it neat.
Yeah.
there will never be
Food on
any
the
orange
floor?
juice
Never.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
My hardwood is a mess.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we do is we go, we want to educate.
You just explain it to me. Quartz to me sounds like what I would pick.
Yeah. And there's so many really cool quartz.
It's easy maintenance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
Yeah.
It's got to be the more easiest side of them all.
Yeah, I mean, granite and quartzite, the dense ones really are not high maintenance either. We put sealers on them. The sealers now are good for like 10 to 15 years.
Oh, shoot.
It's not, I mean, you used to hear, you have to seal it every couple years. They've gotten better with the sealers. Those things are good for a while now.
Well, then maybe it's granite.
Yeah.
Because that's got that natural look.
It does, yeah.
Right.
Yep, each slab has its unique characteristics, and if you like individual character, those are great.
And it's kind of something that it'll never last forever, right? Like you got to think like that's my unique rock.
Yeah.
Right.
You might have a whole big section that kind of has a similar look, but that's my slab.
Right.
Yep.
Nobody's got
that
my
piece behind it might be close, but it's still not
they could keep producing a certain look forever and ever and ever and ever. And like, oh yeah, that's quartz. That's right. The last house had the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Must have bought it from Home Depot.
Yeah.
But some people really
Great
like
Lakes. I'm sorry.
Some people really like consistency. I have clients who come in and they're like, oh my gosh, all of the patterning that's in granite is way too much. It stresses me out. You don't want a stress-inducing kitchen.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like, you want to walk into a place and like, yes, this is my kitchen.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's your personality, everybody likes different things.
Right.
If you have the information to pick whatever you like. And then just be aware of how to take care of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just even hearing you describe the differences, I could see myself like, well, no, I wouldn't want that. I want that. And then say, okay. Show me the aisle of granite then.
Right.
Let's go.
Oh, it's more than an aisle.
You guys got a massive warehouse, I'm sure.
Yeah, we do. We've got about 60 or 70 colors of natural stone and about 20 colors of man-made materials that we carry in stock. And that's just our warehouse.
Wow.
We have a warehouse on site that we fabricate out of because it allows us to give the best pricing if we can,
do it in-house. Right.
Yeah, if we've got, you need a slab and a half and I have, 6 slabs over there, we'll just cut a slab and a half. We don't have to bring in 2 special slabs just for this project. Tends to get you better pricing.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a warehouse full of material, but we can order from just about anywhere. You know, we pull in from a bunch of local warehouses. We pull in from a couple in like Chicago. Stone comes from all over the world, then makes it to the U.S., then makes it to us in your countertop.
Right. So
if you, for some reason, walk through our 90-some colors and don't like one, you can go somewhere else and find one that you like, and then we'll just turn it into countertops for you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that look like, the process, right? Yeah. For those who have maybe never bought rock.
Yeah.
Maybe they've bought a rock for their spouse, but countertop
yeah, this is a little bit bigger chunk of rock.
That costs a lot less.
Yeah, depending on the rock you find.
Right, yeah. Depending if you wanted to sprinkle some diamonds in it.
Right, yeah.
And they have
jewels.
things like that. There are semi-precious stones that they take like these, like the gorgeous blue agates or whatever, and they slice them up and they put them like in a layer on these slabs, and you can backlight them, do all sorts of cool stuff with them. Yeah, those.
Oh,
who knows how much you'd be? You might be close to a different kind of rock on
this. I'm sure P. Diddy's got some lights going on in his, while he's hitting that ball. I want to see my counter light up.
Yes.
I'm lighting up. Counters light up.
And people do it. Most of the time, stone is done on like a wall cladding if you're going to backlight it, because there are stones that are translucent, like onyx.
Lights can come through.
Yeah,
really?
Onyx will let you have light shine through it. There are certain quartzites that'll have pockets of translucence in them, and you put a light behind it, and it'll
just come
glow
right through,
and you can see all the little mineral structure through there.
No way.
Yeah,
that would look good with your mural.
Yeah.
View
of me.
Yeah, with your mosaic mural over there.
Yeah, a little lighting in there.
This is my bathroom.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second.
Light.
Who needs an overhead light?
Right,
What's that? Love it. Don't give me ideas.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be divorced before I know it.
You mean your wife doesn't want a mural of you with a backlight behind it in the bathroom?
I would be shocked if she didn't approve that.
I can see the kids. I want my face on the wall. But no, so
our process.
Yeah. So the process. What does that look like?
We basically do the whole process of creating countertops. So we have a warehouse where we store materials. We have a bunch of different colors that you can pick from, different materials. You come in, we will educate you on all of the materials we have and whatever we know about other materials for countertop surfaces. If you come in
just kind of like you did with us right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you come in and decide that none of these materials are for you and you want butcher block, great. If that's what's for you and that's what you want for your way of living, I'm glad I educated you and you've made an informed decision.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to force, you have to have quartz on you because this is what I think is the best for you or whatever. Yeah. You come in, we've got a showroom, we've got our warehouse, we have a fabrication facility on site. So you come in, we will get all of the information about your project, what you like, what you're working with. If there's other things in play, like, I've already picked out my cabinet color, or I have, I'm keeping my existing cabinets and we just want to update the countertops because the cabinets are perfectly good. There's no reason to change them out, or, we might be refinishing them or things like that. We'll get all of those details about your project.
We can come, so if I call you and say, hey, I want to come figure this out. We can come to your place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
In Redford?
Yes, we're in Redford, just south of 96 and Telegraph.
So I can come to you. Yep. You're going to educate me.
Yes.
And you got this massive warehouse.
We will let you go look at the pretty rocks.
I want to go look at some nice rocks.
Yes. So we'll go through, we'll take a look. Most people will figure a few options out in their first appointment. Some people do walk in and get that, like, this is my material. I love it. I make them look at everything else just so they don't feel like they missed it. And they're like, nope, I still like that one. Cool. You're confident in your decision. Let's go. Right. Some people, take a couple appointments and, narrow it down.
That's okay,
too. Sometimes you come in, you're like, I have all of these things picked out, and I started off of this one piece of tile, and everything else matches this tile. Oh, but I like this cabinet. And then you have to change the tile. Or you like this countertop, and then whatever that backsplash is you started with doesn't work anymore. But everything else works together, and then you just come back and pick a new backsplash, and then you're happy with the whole design. So sometimes that happens where, you bring pieces back, or they start in one spot and then, make their way through the whole process of, a kitchen remodel or something. And you come back and
you guys do backsplash tile too?
We don't do tile.
Okay.
A lot of people will do either a full height backsplash where it goes all the way from the countertop to
the countertop.
Yep, of the same material and kind of wrap it up.
Right.
Or just a 4-inch backsplash.
Yeah.
And the functional purpose of a backsplash is to just keep water from getting to the walls.
Right.
So you don't get water damage. So tile will do that. A full stone backsplash will do that. That usually gives a little bit more luxurious look where it kind of flows all the way through that surface area. Or just a 4-inch backsplash will keep the water where it belongs, and then you paint above it or do whatever you want to there. So we do the 4-inch of the same material or the full height of the same material. Okay. And there's plenty of tile houses around that'll help you out with all of the specifics of matching up with what you've got for your countertop. Yeah. And you can definitely find all sorts of options there. But yeah, so we have customers will come in. We usually block things off in about an hour appointment. That takes most of taking a look through, getting your quote, things like that. And so we'll go through, we'll take a look at all the materials, we'll talk about each of the materials if they have questions or concerns about, staining or what happens if I do this or whatever with that particular material. Help them kind of make a decision that way. We'll usually narrow it down to 2 or 3 that they're interested in. We price things by the scope of the whole job. So we'll provide an estimate for the templating, the fabrication, the installation, taxes, etc. Give you an out-the-door number. So you're not trying to do a ton of math when you get done with it. Like, okay, this many square foot times this many dollars, plus the sink cutout, plus the... So we'll provide the estimate to them and go from there. Once we get moving forward on a job, we'll send our templater out and we make physical templates of each countertop. We're not just making a rectangle and going, well, hopefully there's a weird gap over here.
Yeah, right.
We'll just caulk that. If you have no house is ever perfectly square, even the new builds. So if you've got a bow in your wall that needs it, we'll make our template to fit your exact space. So we send the templater out, get all of those details. When it comes back to the shop, we turn that physical template will get turned into a digital file, and that's what kind of gets cut on the machines and goes through all of the fabrication processes of turning a slab of rock into a countertop. You got to cut it to size, you put edging on it, because you don't want just random cut piece of stone there.
Stick it out.
We have a CNC machines to put the sink cutouts in. And then we've got hand fabricators who do all of the final touch-up details, making sure all of the seams fit together perfectly.
Nice.
Make sure all of the detail work is done. And then we have our own installers who will come out and put the pieces in place, get them all secured, mount the sink, and you have a countertop.
Wow. One-stop shop.
Yes.
You guys do it all from start to the end.
Yes.
I love it. Makes it easy.
Yeah. And now, I know we talked about this yesterday, but for those that are currently renovating their bathroom or kitchen, turnaround times is a big thing, especially with the cabinets. I mean,
well, even the turnaround time. But really, what's that beginning phase too, right? I mean, obviously some people can walk in, like you said, and be like, boom, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you just do the process pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But for those that you've probably done your fair share of jobs to say it takes a month to really narrow it down.
Honestly,
and then to answer what you were getting at, to cut you off, but the lead time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it depends on where you are in the process when you come in and start talking to us. I have people who come in when they break ground on their new build. They want to pick out what kind of material. They may not be tagging their exact slab at that point. That's several months down the road there.
It could change, right?
Yeah, so, but they'll pick out the color scheme, and they're going, okay, the cabinets will be this general color, and, the flooring's going to be this, and this is the stone that we like, and when we get closer to the time that they're actually getting ready to do their countertops, we'll tag a specific slab for them. That's their slab. That's what's going to be cut. They've seen it and approved it. Right. So I have people that do that, and I have people who come in and they're like, so I yanked out the countertops yesterday. I need new ones. And most people are somewhere
dummy,
in between.
I'm 8 weeks out. You shouldn't have done that.
Right.
No.
Get a piece of plywood.
OSB, there you go.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of times that's what people do in between. It's just, we're not quite that far out. Usually our measure tech is within a couple days. We can get him out there to make the new templates. And in the shop, our normal lead times are approximately 2 to 3 weeks to get it made in the shop. Right now we're running a little bit longer with some of the, the delays in
Right.
everything.
All of the things.
Yeah.
Everything. Delays in shipping, materials. You know, we try and keep things pretty well in stock, but sometimes, you know, we're waiting a week to get it off of a boat somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The stuff's
So,
just stuck
Yep.
at ports
Yep.
for who knows what reason, but they're just chilling there,
Yeah.
collecting dust.
Taking a break.
Yeah. Just holding up shipping containers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just
Yeah.
pulled out of the ground, you know. The rocks need a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a rough experience.
Yeah.
for them.
They've been working really hard,
Right.
molding the designs, you know, and now it's time to chill.
Yeah.
Out on
Time to
this-
relax for a
on
minute.
this side of the
put them
dirt.
back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Measure Tech is a couple days out. Shop is anywhere from about 2 to 4 weeks. And we update everybody when they come in and like, hey, it's going into the shop now. Here's the approximate time frame. Because,
Yeah.
you know, we don't want any surprises. And
Right.
Surprises are no fun in construction.
So if I'm in your office and
Yeah.
we made a decision, here's the stone, right?
Yep.
Boom, picked.
Yep.
So maybe like a couple of days, a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll come out to do
yeah.
the measurements.
Yep.
And then go back to the shop.
Correct. Templates
And
come
then we're
back.
probably like 2 to
Couple weeks.
4 months. Weeks, not
Weeks,
months.
weeks, not months, not months.
Weeks. Weeks.
Your cabinets might be months. Your
Yeah.
countertops are going to be weeks.
Yeah.
So a lot of times in that process, if people want like a semi-functional kitchen in the meantime, they'll toss a piece of plywood on the countertop. You
Yeah.
can make your sandwiches. You have your paper plates, your plastic silverware, or you're like, okay, I'm doing the dishes in the laundry tub today.
Right.
But yeah, it's it's a couple weeks. You get the new countertops back out there.
And then you guys schedule the
We'll
install.
do the install. Yep. So we schedule the install as soon as the job's complete in the shop because we don't want the guys racing in the shop. Granite doesn't cut
Right.
quickly. You
Right,
just
yeah.
want to make
Right.
sure it gets through, it gets done. As soon as it's done, we'll schedule the installation. Takes about a week to get it installed, depending on the route of things
Yeah.
and where
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are. And yeah, then we
So
get
really,
it installed, and you get your plumber to hook the drain and water lines back up the next day, and you're good to go.
2-month process. Right?
Yep.
Could
Most of
safely
it's
say.
gonna, and most of it'll be like
Maybe.
our wait. We have a lot of waiting on cabinets. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
with new ones, you have, or with existing,
Can't
I
put
could have guys. Oh, I took
countertops
the
on
old
anything.
ones out. You can template. It's good to go. Because we do template right on top of the existing or the cabinets that the countertops are going to be sitting on.
Yeah.
Because that's the best way to make sure that your new countertops
Right,
sit
yeah.
on those
Oh,
cabinets
heck
correctly.
Yeah, right.
So if you don't have cabinets sitting there, we can't template thin air. So sometimes we're waiting on cabinets to get there.
Right.
But as soon as
Right.
you either have, your old countertops removed and we can template the existing cabinets,
Yep.
Yeah.
or as soon as you have those new cabinets installed and level, we can get out there, get the template going, and go from there. But yeah, our process is 4 to 6 weeks
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
And then you got
Just a
beautiful rock on your countertop.
Right,
I
yeah.
know.
Or quartz.
Or quartz.
Yep.
Yeah. I like the sound of quartz, though.
Mhm.
Quartz. It is nice.
And the sound of just quartz.
Quartz.
Well, it's become such a popular thing. Like,
Yeah.
in listings, you see it
Yeah.
like they always emphasize in quartz countertops.
Yes.
Like it's the new craze. And then
It
it's
is.
like, but then you find out it's like it's man-made in a way.
Yeah.
It's real stone.
Right.
But it's
But it's broken down.
man-made
and-
stone.
Yeah, and man-made stuff.
yeah.
There's a little stuff in there.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they advertise it as natural quartz, which it is. There's natural quartz, the rock in there.
Right.
Which
Right.
whoever named quartz, I want to strangle him on a daily basis because quartz is a rock, and quartz is also not just a rock.
Right.
So, like, quartz countertops are rock and other materials.
Right.
Yeah, right.
But quartzite is a slab of straight up stone, and quartz is a different mineral that is mixed in with these, and so it's fun because I
Right.
feel like it would have been far easier if we just called it
What it
its
is.
own name. Like,
Yeah.
give
Right.
it a name. Who cares what the name is?
Right,
Just
yeah.
make it a name.
Because it's not
So,
just quartz,
right.
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 which is quartzite is the real stuff, right?
Oh, those are both two different minerals. We could get like way down in geological details here. There are all sorts of materials that are rocks. But yeah.
Each time we
And-
got it.
and-
No, I'm just kidding.
And I don't have that much of a geological knowledge.
So you ever soapstone?
Yeah, so soapstone's another natural stone.
Is it?
Yep, it's
My mom loves it.
it's
She's-
really cool. It's completely inert to acid. So they use it in like science lab countertops because nothing reacts with it. It's extremely dense. All the molecules are very close together, but it's also extremely soft. It's kind of like a marble. I have some soapstone. I mean, there is a variety of soapstone. Some
Yeah.
of them are a little bit denser than others, but it's definitely a very soft material. Like you can scratch it with a key, and that's just part of what it does.
That's what my dad he's really realized with him. Like, man, you can scratch this stuff really easy.
And I mean,
but it feels like
it's hard.
Solid.
It's not. And like we said, soft rock is still rock.
Right. Yeah.
It's not soft.
But you can just the top
to touch. But
soft.
and it is when you feel it, it's a little bit smoother.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a little bit more of a buttery texture.
Yeah.
Because of how dense it is. These guys are actually soapstone.
Is it? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what they
believe these
put
are
in
soapstone.
the science labs at school? That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Because they don't react with acids or most chemicals. So I mean, it's all those things of a trade-off. If you're going to be freaked out by a scratch on your countertop, don't put marble or soapstone in there.
Yeah.
Right. If you really like that soft look and that, like, they're very cozy kind of feeling materials when they're in a matte finish.
You're like talking the same words my mom talks about her soapstone.
Yes.
She's loved it for a long time. She's always wanted soapstone. She finally got soapstone in their new house, and like it's the exact word.
Yeah.
The smooth, soft, cozy, but it's still a stone.
Yeah.
It's exactly it.
And all stones have the ability to be refinished. Because basically what we're doing is we're taking a chunk of rock and we're polishing it with diamond bit polishing pads until it's whatever texture we want. You can do the same thing
You always just
later.
take it down, right?
It's a lot harder once it's in your countertops
Yeah,
than it is in
yeah.
slab form in my shop. But there are places that do that. There are restoration companies, things that do that where they come out and they sand it back out and no more scratches in your countertop and moving on and scratch it for a few more years and do it again.
Depending on how far the stains even go, you could sometimes even take stains out, right? If they're more surface level. And
it's a lot easier to pull them out with a poultice than it would be to refinish your whole
Refinish 'em.
countertop due to it.
Right.
But depending on what's sitting on the surface, if you were...
And what kind of stone it is.
Yeah, what kind of stone it is, what kind of stain it is, whether it's worth it.
Yeah,
But
right.
theoretically, if the stain only goes so deep and it's just not coming out with a poultice or anything or other processes,
so
you
what
could
is that
probably...
stuff? A poultice?
Poultice, yes. So it's like there's poultices for pulling, bug bite itchies out and things like that.
Oh, really?
But it's like a paste. So in stone terms, it's a powder and a liquid. Usually the liquid would be dependent on what the stain is, because certain wetting agents or liquids would cut a particular stain better, whether it's oil-based or water-based or food-based or whatever, that way. And like the powder that we use is a mix of plaster of Paris and diatomaceous earth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep.
It just pulls
Moving
stains
on.
out, right?
Yes. And so with that mix of the plaster and the diatomaceous earth, you put that in with a wetting agent. So depending on what the stain is, we can advise a wetting agent that would work. You mix them together; they're kind of toothpaste consistency.
What kind of wetting agent?
Like
bleach?
No, bleach is not ideal for most.
Stones?
Most things.
Again,
Paul.
Yeah, so I mean, sometimes just water will do it. Usually,
Sprite?
I would start with water.
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, Coca-Cola might cause other issues.
Yeah,
because Coca-Cola is going to potentially stain things and also have acids. But no, you start with water and go from there.
Baking?
We're talking like Mentos and Coke. No?
But shoot, isn't it like ginger ale? Isn't that like something?
For what?
I don't know.
What do you?
Yes,
it's
Removing stains like in carpet.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I
Is it ginger ale or is it baking soda? Isn't it?
well, baking soda is not a pop, but
Yeah.
baking soda pulls it. I'm like, I thought we were down the pop train.
That's what I thought so too. Ginger ale.
Like we're talking about Sprite with Coke or ginger ale, like
baking soda.
No, I'm not jumping to baking soda from there.
I think I need a coffee. So, water.
Yes, water, or a lot of times we will use denatured alcohol, depending on what it is.
Yeah. A little strong component.
Yep. And the denatured alcohol can break down certain compositions of whatever's in there.
Right.
We have a whole chart. Depending on what the stain is, what
We'll tell
wetting
ya.
agent will work best. So then you mix it up kind of toothpaste consistency. You put it over the stain. Make sure you kind of cover the whole stain. And then you tape a piece of plastic over it.
Really?
Because what it does is as it dries, if it was just out to the air, it would just pull air from wherever and dry the paste, and
Right.
it would
do
dry up
anything.
and be done.
Yeah.
But if you put a piece of plastic over it, it can't get air from the top. So it pulls air from the bottom,
Huh.
and it's kind of soaked in a little bit by this point. Let it, whatever
it
your
right
wetting
out.
agent is work on the stain, and as it dries and pulls air through, it pulls the stain out with it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Who's
Oh, I
a
know who-
genius?
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I
Who
have
thought
no
of that?
Some scientist that was smarter than me.
Chemist just wasting time.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's mix these together and
See what happens.
yeah.
I'm sure there was some logical
Oh,
thought process
yeah,
behind this. I'm not that good at
I mean,
science.
you gotta think of whoa, my mic. You gotta think about it. I mean, if he's a chemist, right? He's probably dealing with chemicals all the time.
Yeah.
And
They
knows
know how
that,
they react
oh,
with certain
yeah,
things.
in the past we did this and it did that. What if we mixed with this and that, and then they know the chemical
Well, yeah.
compound of it, and then boom. Now he's a rich
Sometimes,
millionaire.
yes,
'cause
boom.
Yeah, right.
If you can avoid the actual boom, you might have.
yeah, right. You can still live to sell it.
Side note disclaimer, don't just go mixing chemicals
Right.
hoping to remove your stain. It's a bad idea.
Good. We do not endorse that.
No, you mix chemicals, you will end
Without
up with explosions.
professional assistance.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, don't start fires with gasoline either.
yeah, don't do that.
I do lighter fluid though. That is
Well,
the
yeah.
best.
But that's
start
like
fire starter
appropriate
ever.
fire starter.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I've not used
still be
paper in
safe.
forever.
No?
I wish I'd have learned this trick a long time ago. I used to sit there and crumble all the papers up, try to start a fire.
You need to get yourself a
Just-
weed burner.
Just douse it. And
No,
weed burner.
Weed burner.
What's
Go
that?
to Harbor Freight. It's like $20.
Yeah?
Big old flamethrower. Hook it up. And that's how I start my smoker.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Weed burner?
Weed burner. They're like $20. It's literally like
A flamethrower.
Just
Why
hook it up to a propane tank.
Are you burning the weeds with it as
Yeah,
a
that's what it's
flamethrower?
for, to burn like weeds and stuff.
I need to do that under
Like
my pine
in
tree.
a campfire pit after you've pulled them, or when they're in the ground?
No, when they're in the ground.
Just burn them.
Yeah, you just burn them. Like if you have,
How do you control if you start a forest fire?
Yeah, like this seems
well,
like
you're supposed to do it in your fire pit. I mean, if you're going to use it for that.
Well, what about
I'm on
burning
the
weeds?
now we're burning
Well,
weeds.
if you're
Because I
burning
have
weeds-
a pine tree that is, I need to burn a lot of weeds.
Well, make sure it's wet around the area.
Just wet it?
Yeah.
All right.
Or if you got, like for
I was
driveways, patios, you get a bunch of weeds in there,
Oh, just burn them?
just burn them.
Burn them.
Telling you.
Harbor Freight.
You'll get rid of the lighter fluid quickly. It's just fun to do.
Because you just have straight up flames.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's awesome.
Ah.
All right.
Telling
I'm gonna have to go home and research
I-
this
yeah,
because I'm
weed
like,
burn.
I got some weeds to deal with
Yeah.
on a patio that like I need to know about flame torch.
Oh, they're great
situations.
for a patio. That's what I use. Instead of spraying chemicals and stuff like that, I just burn them all.
Yeah,
They
'cause
do come back, but you just burn them again.
Did they come back faster than pulling them on my hands and knees though?
I don't know.
Because I did that. And that
retired
was a pain in the butt
when I was 18.
a while ago.
Propane
I said I am
torch.
no longer pulling weeds. That's probably my least favorite activity outside.
Yeah.
Something about pulling
Does
weeds.
yours have a push button igniter?
No, I didn't go fancy.
It's only $35 from Harbor Freight.
So his was only 20.
Mine was only 20. It doesn't have the igniter, but you buy
Propane torch with push button igniter.
some reviews said the igniter was not the best.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
I went with
fire
silver.
You
always
got to do
works,
like
right?
the little striker in front of yours?
Yeah, I just got a little stirred.
Yep. Yeah.
Telling you.
Look at he's burning weeds right there in that photo.
Right? See? Piece of cake.
There it is right there. Just need a propane tank
Yep.
and a torch. Burn those weeds.
Get rid of that lighter fluid.
I'm assuming we're working
It
with like
is-
a bigger torch than your standard blowtorch and for like burning these weeds.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I need to see this picture.
like
Oh, you
big.
get like a big.
It's
Okay.
a whole handle.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get a whole weed with that.
Boom. Yeah, and you got this guy. Where is he at? Right down there. See, look at
Burning
him.
his
Burning.
Look at him
weeds.
just.
Hook it up
Oh,
to the
I've
propane tank.
I've seen those torches for like doing that burnt finish on
Yeah.
wood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right on.
fun time.
Telling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be the life of the party at the campsite. You light that thing off. It's loud.
Just a. But I mean, the lighter fluid is pretty nice too.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Torch it up.
Saying if you want to have a little fun.
I'm always down for fun with fire.
It's safe fire too.
Yeah.
Mostly. Unless
Yeah,
you take
mostly.
it to a pine tree.
Yeah. If you light your pine tree on fire, I can't help you there.
Yeah. I'll have to make sure I have the Salem Fire Department on call.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm burning my weeds. Just be on standby. I know you're all volunteer.
Yeah.
Just let everybody know that they might be getting a phone call here in an hour.
Turn the sprinkler on around the pine tree. Soak everything. Like, dang it, the fire's just going up.
I just bought myself a new torch. I'm going to burn some weeds.
What else can I burn? Anyone?
Right.
New side gig. I got a torch burner. Who wants something torched?
Neighbor to neighbor.
Yeah.
How's your driveway?
You just show up randomly burning his weeds.
I have taken care of the sidewalk from
But
that
what
block
are you
to that block.
You better believe I found the newest thing, the weed torture, man. I'm just going from neighbor to neighbor. I'm just feeling good right now. Want me to torch your weeds?
Right.
I got a full propane. I can go.
You would have fun with it. I'm telling you.
I'm already having fun with it. I don't even
You
own
don't
it
even
yet.
have to buy it. Now you got like, I don't have to buy it. $35 saved, and I had all of the fun of enjoyment of thinking about burning all of the things.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, so how can we get a hold of you, though?
I am at Great Lakes Granite Marble.
Yeah.
Our website is greatlakesgm.com, like granite marble.
Yeah.
And then, so we our phone number is 313-362-0123. You can get a hold of us on the web. We've got a form there you can fill out if you want to set up an appointment. You can call our main line. Any project manager can walk you through the whole process.
Jenny's the best.
I
Yep.
am. A little partial there. But yeah, we and you'll have, you may talk to somebody else when you catch the phone, but you'll have your project manager through the whole process. We walk you through from start to finish.
It's not like handing them off and then they never talk to you again.
Yeah, I mean, we had that whole conversation about your very specific project, all of
And
the
then
things
hand
you
it
like.
over to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, you brought your dog in. We played fetch. It was great. We do
He
take.
pissed on my stone.
Surprisingly, for as many dogs as we have in that building, like we really haven't had too many of them pee on any of the rocks, which is really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are pet friendly, so if you want to bring in the dog,
Nice.
definitely do so. But yeah,
That's
so you'll
good.
have your project manager all the way through from, picking your stone and, setting up that first appointment through finishing your install and closing out the job and, send us pictures when it's done.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so
Nice.
we'll definitely help you out. And we're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Last appointment's usually at like 3:30.
Yeah.
And we are open select Wednesdays and Saturdays for appointments outside of normal business hours because some people just have to work during business hours.
Right,
So
yeah.
so we've got a few, a Saturday and a Wednesday a month usually that we're by appointment
later.
a little bit later, or we're there on a Saturday where we're normally not, so that everybody can get their countertops taken care of.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And with the
good.
exception of actually seeing the material, everything else can be handled digitally. We can do it by phone, by email. We're not trying to make you drive down for everything that, every time you need to
Right.
Hey,
do
come into
a
the
next
office.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, schedule
Right.
a day to come down and do everything.
Right.
Yes, we recommend that you take a look at your material
Oh,
because
for sure.
a 4x6 sample or a little sample, it works well for like seeing the color, but it's not going to show you what the whole slab looks like or what you're going to
Right.
get for your countertops.
You guys got one of
or-
those huge main ceiling cranes?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got a few cranes.
Yeah.
Those things will lift a lot of weight.
'Cause I'm sure your slabs are probably massive.
Yeah. Your slabs are like 1,000 pounds each,
Jeez.
and we've got cranes that'll move bundles of 8 or 10 of them. And
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a couple ton.
Yep.
Couple
Just a
ton
few.
crane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't want to be underneath that.
no, there are and when you come to the warehouse, we give you the please, be safe in this situation.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
These are. It's a fun experience and it's a nice field trip to come on, but like you do have to be very safe
Heck yeah.
when
Right.
you're
Well, yeah.
going through that
Talking
warehouse.
about
Or,
rocks that have no boundaries.
yeah, they're
like
heavy
to
and
smush.
yeah, they
And
do
gravity
not listen to
takes
you.
it down.
Yes,
It's true.
yeah. Yeah,
Where are you at in Redford? What crossroads?
Telegraph and 96. Just
Well,
south of
that's
there.
easy to get to.
Yes.
Anybody can get there then.
Yeah, if you're coming
Just
off 96,
rock
you're
throw
coming
from
south.
anywhere in Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're right there.
Very accessible. Well, cool. Good.
Well,
Well,
thank
you
so
know,
much.
Yeah,
That's-
you're welcome.
I'll be calling you soon for
Sounds
our
good.
bathrooms and kitchens, 100%.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah. So look forward to it. Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thanks
It's
for
been a
having
good
me.
time. Yeah. Learned a lot
been fun.
about rocks.
I know.
Yes.
I didn't know
I
that
think
much.
I know. I know what I want.
Right.
Probably grind it.
Now you just got to come look at 70 of them and see which
Let's-
one you
Right,
want.
yeah. You got to pick your own personal one.
Yes.
I might just stop by when I'm in the area and just to see the place. I'm curious. Do you guys cut all the time? Like there's cutting? I'm curious to see how you guys cut.
Yeah, our shop's open the same hours we are, and they come in a little early. They're all morning people. They come in at like 6 o'clock in the morning and start cutting on granite.
Start cutting.
But yeah. So we're always fabricating, and whatever's in the shop at the moment is what's
Right.
going through, and there's always something new going through because, with residential stuff, you have different projects, kitchens, bathrooms, parts,
Right.
all sorts of stuff, and then we do
Bars.
commercial work as well in our fabrication shop. So there's all sorts of fun things that happen on commercial buildings that are just that's an interesting project
Right,
going
yeah.
through.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think. I mean, I'm sure, commercially.
Mm-hmm.
You see in a lot of buildings, marble, granite, walls, stairs, all that kind of stuff. Whew. Keeps you busy, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Well, good. Well, thanks again. We appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.
Thank you
It
so
was,
much.
It was fun having you on and having a good conversation about some rocks and stones.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'm Paul Seguin with eXp Realty,
And I'm Devin Carr with Gold Star Mortgage.
and this is the Carr and Seguin Show.
See you.
See you.
The primary purpose of this podcast series is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast series do not constitute legal or professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind. Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group, NMLS 3446, Equal Housing Lender.